What's up, guys? Bright and early, we're doing another steelhead fishing video today. I don't know what it is about steelhead, but they just seem to be desired by not only me, but a lot of other fishermen. And that's exactly what we're doing today. It's getting light out, we got to get out there. But first, I just wanted to show you guys really quickly, here in California, we have what's called a steelhead report card. And it's the beginning of the year, good time to talk about it. Every year we have to renew this card. I think it costs, actually I can tell you exactly how much it costs, $8.38. So it's not expensive, but I'm pretty sure those funds go back into helping the steelhead hatcheries here in California. And there's a few things that we're gonna fill in here. So we're gonna fill in the date, month and day, and then the location code. So each river or each little creek, any body of water that has steelhead in them, has a location code, a number assigned to it. So we need to fill in the date and then that number that's assigned to the body of water that you're fishing. And then on top of that, if you, even in the same day, if you were to switch rivers, you gotta fill this out again. And at the end of the day, we'll get back to this and I'll tell you exactly everything else that you need to fill out. But anyways, let's get to fishing. You can see it's already getting light out. We gotta get out there. It's prime time right now. Let's go get them. All right, guys, well, there's already a few people fishing this little hole that I wanted to fish here. So I'm gonna move upstream a little bit and maybe I'll find some fish up here, or maybe these guys will give up and I'll move into my spot that I wanted to fish. But anyways, getting everything set up here. We're ready to go. Let's go make our first cast. All right, so here's the spot we're gonna start off at. So you can see there's like a nice ripple right here, and then it kind of tapers off into a, not a deep hole, but a little bit slower moving water right there. And I have a feeling the fish are going to be hanging out right about where my bobber is, right about there, right in that little slow water right before this fast ripple right here. Yeah, that looks good right there. I like that drift. Oh, look at that, right in the, oh, what is that? I don't know what that is. A little trout. Right in the fast water there. Wasn't expecting that. I was right when I dropped my line in there. Little, oh, there, quick release. Little guy. Probably like a 12-incher or so. I was not expecting that one. That one was up there in that fast current there. But then again, that was just a little trout. I don't know. Maybe there's some steelhead up there too. Might start working this area now. There we go. There we go. That's a little better fish. Again, in that fast current. I guess the fish are up there. I didn't think they would be up there. I was thinking they'd be more in this slower moving water down below, but I got to start working that upper seam. Not a huge one, but this is more of a steelhead, not as much a trout. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and bonk and bleed this one. All right, so yeah, the hens have obviously the roe, which are good steelhead bait, so I'm gonna keep this one. In California, you're allowed to keep 2 steelhead in the rivers as long as they're hatchery fish. And you know they're hatchery fish when they're missing this adipose fin right here. It's been clipped and then healed over, obviously, because they clip them when they're just a little fry. But yeah. Nice fish. Look at all those. I love the fins on the bottom when they have those white tips. Nice little steelhead. Not a big one. Probably maybe 2-pounder or so. Maybe 18 inches. But yeah, good little fight. Again, in that faster water. So I thought there would be fish farther down here, but they're actually seems like more up in the faster water up here. So let's get back in there and see if this was just a fluke or if there's another one. So before we get back in there, I just want to talk about this little sliding float deal that we got going on. So I won't talk too much about the actual setup, but this is a sliding float, and then it's stopped by this bobber stop right here. And obviously this stop right here controls how far down your bait gets down into the water. And so it's best to obviously move it up and down depending on the area you're fishing, or depending on how the fish are behaving. Maybe they're swimming close to the bottom, so you want to get your presentation down deeper, or maybe they're close to the surface, so you want to keep your bait up a little bit higher. So anyways, today I really want to make a point to keep on adjusting this accordingly as the day goes on. If I don't get a bite within like maybe 5 casts, maybe move it up 6 inches. Another 5 casts, no bite, move it up another 6 inches. No bite, maybe I'll move it down a foot. I don't know, but really moving it up and down. I've been doing that this morning. And then obviously I caught that one, so I'm gonna try to work it at the same length or the same depth that I caught that one for a little bit. But again, if I don't catch any for another few casts, maybe 15 minutes, boom, let's start adjusting it again. So really working that depth to figure out which one or where the fish are feeding the best. And just because, you know, fishing up here in the fast moving water where I caught that fish, maybe they're up shallower there, but maybe when I move to a different hole, maybe they're down a little bit deeper, so we're gonna adjust that, stop accordingly. So anyways, that's my point of emphasis for today. You can see also I hold my rod up high, and that'll keep the least amount of line on the water as possible to prevent the amount of drag. I talked a little bit about mending my line in my last steelhead video, so if you're interested in that, check that out. But another technique is just to hold your rod up really high, and that'll keep the line off of the water and keep your drift a little bit more natural. You would think fishing a river like this, it's almost like any fishing. Like, it just seems like you're going out and throwing your line in and hoping for the best. But there's actually a lot of technique, and especially with river fishing, because these fish are so finicky, the technique is like really subtle. And you know, if you kind of watch other people how they're fishing and just kind of take note as you go along what's working, what's not, especially in a river like this, super clear, there's a little bit of pressure, so they see quite a few baits going by. You really got to make sure your presentation is pinpoint, so that those fish think it's just a piece of food floating by, but in fact it's your bait. Adjust it, move it up 6 inches. Oh, there's a fish. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Gotta keep the pressure. Oh, it's coming in now. That fish, when he hit, he was running. Oh, all the way out of the water. Come on down. That's a nicer fish. A little bit bigger than the first one. Oh, acrobatic fish. Oh, these fish in the river are so strong. Oh, it's okay. I think I can get it up here. Thank you, though. A little bit better. Another nice hen. I'm going to release this one. Take a look out here. Hardwoods hook. I just want to show you. Look at the adipose fin on that one. So I'm pretty sure this is a hatchery fish, but it still has like half of an adipose fin there. So I'm gonna release this one. You know what I just realized is that was also right after I switched the bobber stop. I moved it up like 6 inches. And I don't know, I kind of forget, I lost count or I lost track of time, but I feel like that was like maybe 1 or 2 casts after I did that. So just another example, pays to keep switching things up. Oh, yeah. There we go. Oh, I set the hook and I thought I missed him, but I don't know, maybe no, I think I had him, I just didn't know it. Another really nice female, another hen, definitely full of eggs. You know, I think we're gonna harvest this one too. Another little hatchery hen here. I shouldn't say little, it's a decent sized fish, probably about 18 inches or so. He's got the nice colors on him. I know I said it already, but I really like those white on the tip of the fins there. And then it seems like I had one like this last time, a little touch of orange on the dorsal fin there. But again, this is a hatchery fish. Whoever was clipping the fins on this one did a little bit better job than the last fish. But anyways, we're gonna keep this one and add it to our bag. So like I said earlier, limit is 2 per person per day. Have to be fin clipped and have to be in the river. I think that's all I can think of at the moment, but always want to double check your regulations for steelhead, especially like I said, there's a ton extra regulations for steelhead because they're so sought after. But anyways, that's our limit. We'll be all catch and release from here on out. There we go. There we go. There's another one. Little guy. Not too bad. So this one for sure is a male steelhead, so I don't know if you can tell, this fish is a little small still, another hatchery fish, but the jaw is starting to get that hook in the front, so you know that's a male steelhead. Any male salmon, trout, steelhead, they have those hooks in the front. Starts to curve upwards. I think they call it a kipe. Could be wrong there, but anyways, fish number 4. I really like the colors. I know these are a little bit more colored up steelhead than like your wild like fish by the coast or even hatchery fish by the coast, but it's hard to beat the colors on these fish. All right, release. There he goes. There we go. There's a fish. There's a fish. I don't know how big this one is. Looks like it's probably similar size. Coming right towards me. There he goes. There he goes. Oh, we're in a little bit of a lull for a bit there, but that's to be expected. Typically, steelhead fishing, similar to a lot of other types of fishing, middle of the day is not the best time to catch them, but obviously, as you can see, still very possible. See if we can get him into a little bit calmer water here. Get him unhooked and on his way. Oh yeah, look at the colors on this fish. Look at that. Right back into the current. You can see we got calmer water to my left here, fast water to the right. He wants to keep going into that current there. Another hatchery fish, another male. Yeah, that's definitely my biggest one yet this season. Oh, that's a nice one. Oh, that was a big one. Dang. I want to catch that one. Oh, it's a fish. I thought that was a snag, but that was a fish. Feels like a decent one too. So a lot of times when you're bobber fishing, your bait will drag. You want your bait to be close to the bottom. That's generally where the fish are. But sometimes your bait will drag on the bottom and you'll bring your bobber down. So not every time that the bobber goes down is it a fish. So sometimes we mistakenly mistakes the snags for fish, and sometimes you mistakenly mistake the fish for snags, with the latter being slightly more exciting. This is a nice one. Try to get him over in the slow stuff again. Oh, he's wrapped up in. All right. Oh, this might be the biggest, even bigger than that last one. He's all wrapped up in the leader from all that thrashing we did. Oh, just came off. All right. Long distance release, not a problem. Although I would like to see that fish. I think it was probably the biggest one we've hooked today. But that's okay. He got all wrapped up when he did all that thrashing. He was all wrapped up in the leader. And I think that's what eventually got him free. But good for him. Let's see if we can get another one. So I was saying how sometimes the bobber ticks on a rock, your bait ticks on a rock, and then it pulls the bobber underneath. And that's true, but oftentimes if you're fishing one area and you fish there for a while, you can tell where the rocks are, because every time you fish that same line and you hit that certain spot and the bobber ticks under, it's probably a rock. More than likely a fish isn't going to be in that same exact spot and hit your bait more than a couple of times. Maybe twice if you're lucky, but if it's 3 times, more than likely that's a rock. And then also say you drift through one spot like 10 times, and then that 11th time, that's when your bobber goes down. More than likely that's a fish rather than a rock, because if it didn't get hooked, or if it didn't, drop down the first 10 times through, the 11th time, yeah, it's possible. Maybe there was one little stick sticking up that you just didn't hit the other 10 times. But higher chance that that's going to be a fish. But even with all that, sometimes you just don't know. So it doesn't hurt to set anytime that bobber goes down. Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Oh, look at that run. Oh, look at that jump. That's a good one. That's a good one. Stay pinned. You see that run? That first run was the truth. That was a true steelhead run right there. All right, well, barbless hook. See if we can get him in. I think I got, oh, it just came off. Oh man. Dang it. That was a good one. I was just about to say too, I think I got a good hook set, but guess not. Oh man, that was a good one. Oh well. All right guys, I think we're gonna end it on that one. Kind of unfortunate. I had it end on a kind of a sad note there, but you know, that's fishing. Catch some and you lose some. And you know, I got my 2 that I'm bringing home right there. And it was a fun day out here. In the end, I caught 5, lost 2 nice ones. I think actually, unfortunately, the 2 that I lost were the 2 biggest ones, especially the last one. The last one was definitely the biggest one. And I think the one before that was also pretty good size. But that's fishing. That's why you come back. So steelhead fishing, super light tackle, barbless hook, a lot of things working against you. And I think that's part of the reason why it's so fun. And also, I know I mentioned before this, I was talking about the steelhead report card. So now I have to go back and report all of the steelhead that I caught, or at least just mark them down, report at the end of the year. So I believe if there's any Department of Fish and Game people out there watching, and I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you just report the fish that you actually caught. So I actually landed 5 fish. All of them were hatchery fish, even though that one had like a small adipose fin. I think it was like a missed clip. Whoever was clipping needs a little bit more training. But yeah, so I think I'm just gonna record all 5 hatchery fish. And so you have to report if you kept them, released them, and if they're hatchery or non-hatchery. And obviously if they're non-hatchery wild fish, you have to release them. I kept 2 steelhead that were hatchery. I released 3 that were hatchery, and I didn't catch any, 0 wild fish. So then at the end of the year, I kind of mentioned in my last video, at the end of the year, we go back and to submit all of the numbers. But yeah, this is my second steelhead day. 2 for 2 so far. 2 on the first day, 5 on the second day. Not too bad. I mean, these are mostly hatchery fish up here, so this isn't like, I feel like this is the training grounds for real steelhead fishing, heading out to the coast and you know, catching those fish fresh out of the ocean. But anyways, that's still to come. Getting my training in here, and yeah, this was a fun one. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.